Is this a bit of revisionism from the Duke? I remember them leaving the royal family quite happily. Was that not the case? Was he forced?
Good afternoon, Emily. Good afternoon, Tom. Where's my chocolate, by the way?
We'll get one sent to you. We will.
I have to say that you've summarised this tangled web very expertly with your reporter down at the High Court. Prince Harry is now the undisputed prince of litigation. He has 5 separate cases active in the British courts. And as you said, Emily, this stems back to 2020, when rather hurriedly he and his family left, as I recall, on a scheduled flight for Canada to Vancouver. And they settled there in various houses, and the Canadian federal government rapidly got fed up with paying for the cost of round-the-clock armed protection. So they went to California, and they now live in a hilltop fortress guarded 24/7 by teams of security people who they pay for. Now, what Harry says, he says that he had to leave Britain in 2020 because the protection that he had enjoyed before then had been rescinded because he was stepping back from his royal role. And he said he could not tolerate being in Britain and putting his wife and his family in danger. So he's gone to California, where I do believe that the murder rate is rather more than it is in this country, but we'll leave that aside for a moment. What the Home Office says is that when he comes to this country, they will make bespoke arrangements, tailored arrangements for his security. But what they're not going to do, because resources are limited, they are finite, is provide round-the-clock armed protection for him when he's here. And he says that he's been unfairly treated, that he's been discriminated against by the committee of the Home Office that decides on these matters for prominent people. And of course, it is a big undertaking. 3 shifts of burly men and women around the clock every day of the year is a very costly business. So that's what it's all about. As you say, in the libel case, which is quite interesting, against the Mail on Sunday Associated Newspapers, he's lost his attempt to stop them putting up a proper defence, and their defence is on whether, when he decided to go to Canada initially, and whether that was before or after the decision about the withdrawal of his protection. And he maintains that he approached the Home Office and he was offering to pay for police protection. Well, that was struck down by a court. Of course, we cannot possibly have a situation when any individual is allowed to buy up the police and have them as their personal protection agents. It would be impossible, and the courts so decided. So that's where we are. It's ongoing. Most of this stuff will be shaken out in the new year, but he carries on. He's very determined to get justice. He's suing 2 newspaper groups for invasion of privacy and other civil wrongs. And you and I will be reporting this in the new year.
Michael, how much do these legal cases actually matter? Is it not the case that perhaps in the court of public opinion, people might have already made up their minds on this sort of thing? And the idea that Prince Harry feels like he was forced out of the country, and whether or not that was is legally found to be a solid idea or not, isn't it the case that generally people will have made their minds up on this issue?
I think it is the case, Tom. You make an absolutely brilliant point. The British people eventually, may take some time, always get the right idea about people. I've seen it over the years, and I've been a journalist for 61 years. The British people do make their own minds up in the end. Now, if I were giving him public relations advice, which of course I'm not, I would have said, don't do it. Going to court is always a perilous business, apart from being expensive and time-consuming. And very, very rarely plaintiffs get the justice that they think is their due. I would say, suck it up, move on, get on with your life, enjoy it, look after your family, be happy. You know, you've got more money than we can think about. You've got 2 healthy, beautiful children. You've got a lovely wife. Millions of people admire you. Other people don't. But there you are. You've chosen your route. The old expression is you've made your bed and lie in it. And going through the courts is not really edifying for a prince of the royal blood, in my humble opinion.
I guess now he's started, he has to finish the process, but it must be quite fatiguing for him. But thank you very much for your time. Michael Cole, former BBC royal correspondent, brilliant as ever.